Hello, I'm John Schneider, and I know you're probably very busy, so I'm going to try to be brief. And if you ever want to jump ahead to the next section of this DVD, you can do it at any time. This DVD is a brief introduction to a comprehensive promotional and marketing campaign for the Jersey Bayshore. Incidentally, this is not just about getting tourists here from New York City and other parts of New Jersey. It's also about getting our own residents to understand and appreciate what this area has to offer in terms of shopping, restaurants, attractions, and history. In your package of materials, I've included a vision which is encapsulated in a future article, one that has not even been printed yet. But we're hoping that someday an article similar to this one will be printed. The biggest question I'm always asked is, what do I get out of all this? So let me explain briefly. I'm not paid, nor do I intend to be paid for my volunteer efforts to promote the Jersey Bayshore area. I've spent thousands of dollars and thousands of hours and a labor of love for our area, and that's what it is. I'm a retired marketing executive who spent 25 years with AT&T. I've worked in television and radio broadcasting, and I've worked in the news media. Today, my passion is bringing tourism back to our area, to all the towns of the Jersey Bayshore. And now, the implementation of the plan, which is available to you upon your request, is at a very critical point. And that's why I'm applying to the state of New Jersey for a cooperative marketing grant of $15,000 to promote tourism. And that's why I'm seeking financial commitments of 25% of that amount, or roughly $4,000. I will not receive the grant unless I receive a commitment from people like you. So, as they say, let's get on with the show, and I'll show you what we've done so far and what we intend to do with all of the money from the grant and your financial commitment. And remember, you don't even write a check unless the grant is approved. I want you to realize how much I've already done on your behalf, and I'm happy to do it. Let's start with the website, jerseybayshore.com, where visitors will learn about us, our towns, and all the things that we have to offer. Now, right off the bat, visitors can watch a short video about the Bayshore. And let's take a look, and feel free to go on to the next section if you've already seen this video. Here's the introduction to the New Jersey Bayshore. Well, there are hundreds of videos which have been produced. In fact, look at the navigation bar on the website in all the sections. Every section has videos. In fact, this is a bit like the YouTube of the Bayshore. My feeling is if people see what we have to offer, they'll be more motivated to come and visit us. Let's click on Explore Towns, and let's look at Highlands, for example, and see what's there. Okay, here it is. Now, not all the towns are completely done, but we're getting close, and the website is also getting close to being done, and we'll have everything done by the end of April. But every town has its own welcome video, and those are completed, and a recommended list of things to do. So let's just take a look at the welcome video for Highlands.
Welcome to Highland.
Welcome to Highlands!
Welcome.
Welcome to Highlands.
Welcome to the Highlands.
Welcome to the Highlands.
Welcome! Welcome to Highlands.
Welcome to Highland.
Welcome to Highlands.
Welcome to Highlands.
Welcome to lovely, beautiful downtown Highlands.
Welcome to 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 Highlands.
Now let's check out a couple of promotional ads for local businesses in Highlands. And bear in mind, I offered these videos to these businesses at no cost. And I mean it, truly, no cost at all. First, let's look at the Inlet Cafe. always get hungry when I see that. Now let's click on a video for one of the retail merchants, Sasha's Boutique.
Hi, I'm Sasha Morford, and I opened Sasha's Boutique and Fine Cigars about 20 years ago. Anybody could come in and you could buy something for $2 or you could buy something for $100. I have something for everybody. I have gifts for every occasion. I have greeting cards, sun hats. I personally buy everything. I love being able to look out of the window and one way look at the hills and the other way you look at the river and the ocean, and you have the beaches and the beautiful, sunsets and a lot of nice people. What do you think?
No, I think I like this color better. It's very pretty.
I think the turquoise is perfect, and you know what? This is great over a bathing suit. You can wear it with leggings, starfish.
Starfish. That's cute.
Oh, I think that's enough. Smell it. They have like a chocolate smell.
Love the smell.
Isn't that great?
Oh,
I know you're gonna get compliments.
thank you.
I personally buy everything and merchandise everything. I go into Manhattan every couple of weeks to see what's coming in for styles that are new. The jewelry is unique. This is one of my pieces, and this piece retails for $38. It's all my jewelry is very affordable. It's different. I only buy one piece at a time, and I always replenish, which is nice because then you don't see yourself coming and going. This top is one of my tops from Sacred Threads. And I have greeting cards, sun hats. We have fabulous scented candles. My incense, everybody loves. 10 for $1. I hate the expression, but they're to die for. We have magnets, nautical cocktail napkins, nautical ornaments all year round. I always have a Christmas tree up, and people say, why do you have a Christmas tree? Because people that do travel don't see these nautical ornaments. I brought back my Twin Light t-shirts that I designed 20 years ago when I first opened the store, which is pretty cool. Welcome to Sasha's Boutique.
Oh, okay, I think we've looked at the website enough. Now let's take a very quick look at all the social media we utilize today for the Jersey Bayshore. And whenever possible, we include our videos, and there are hundreds of them. First, here's the Jersey Bayshore Facebook group, and I'm the administrator for this and about 10 other groups in the Bayshore area. Towns like Highlands, Atlantic Highlands, Middletown. Some of these towns never had a Facebook group before, and they love to get on there and talk about their towns and talk about some of the issues and see some of the videos. And we get great positive feedback all the time. We also have a presence on YouTube, and there are, again, hundreds of videos to be seen. We're also on Twitter, and we frequently tweet what's going on at the Bayshore. We have a presence in businesses and art galleries, such as this display case in an art gallery in Atlantic Highlands. We've also developed print ads, such as this one, Think Inside the Box, which shows folks in New York and New Jersey how conveniently located we are to them. One of our key objectives is to make Exit 117 synonymous with the Jersey Bayshore. We've also produced several radio and television spots that we're going to be showing, including these, a couple of 30s and a 60-second spot as well. We've created and printed thousands of postcards like these, and we've developed a campaign to lure folks from the Super Bowl to the Jersey Bayshore. We're also producing a number of documentaries which are now under consideration by some very large cable companies.
I just love getting up early in the morning, so I go out early. I've been getting up early for over 30 years now, and I can't break the habit. It takes a lot of perseverance, what it does take, and I guess anybody could do it, just you can't get a company to work for it right now because there's so many clammers, and each plant only has so many baskets to be filled. There's 240 baskets over there. They'll all be out in the water today. 170 is my digger number, okay? 10 is where we're going. You see, the state has each section of the bay divided into different numbers. This way they can trace the clam. If the biologists find a clam that's contaminated with some kind of lead or whatever, that they can trace exactly where it came from. The only rule is can't start to sunrise, and all the boats have to be back to the clam dock by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's anybody's personal choice as to what time they can go out. I mean, we have fellows that don't even leave the dock till 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, but they, yet they're still back in by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's, some people, whether they do things in the morning or they just like to sleep late, I have no idea. Like I said, it's more of a personal choice than anything else. It's freedom. Work on the water is basically kind of like freedom. I think we all have that desire for freedom, like being my own boss, being self-sufficient, being not told what to do, when to go out, when to come back, when my coffee break is, when I got to eat lunch, The bay's clean, and that we have what we call the New Jersey Department of Water Monitoring. They come out and constantly check this bay, and it's clean, believe me, or else they wouldn't let us out here. It's clean.
Let the ship slide by you.
Up, or even when I do this, it keeps the handle on top of the water. 60 foot altogether. then I started lobster fishing. I used to catch striped bass and sell them. Broad and rich. You put the rake in the water and you rake the clams up out of the mud. Well, the boat has to move to catch clams. We can't just sit in one spot. So in order to get the boat to move, if there's a little breeze or a little wind, we can use the sail, helps the boat move just a little bit faster, especially on slow days like we're experiencing today. Yeah, what we have right now is the wind against the tide, and if the wind was with the tide, we would be moving. The wind's going that way, but the tide's going that way.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was catching and we had a good drift, you can't shake the rake anymore because it's so full, so you won't hear them rattle. So that's when you reel it up. Today, it's not going to be full, believe me. We have quite a few clammers. A lot of them don't work every day. I think it's approximately 30 or 35 of us that work every day, 6 days a week, that are constant goers. You know. In the winter, most of the time we go down to about 14 of us that work year round, and it's almost not unlimited, but you could, if you could do it, you could do 10 or 15 baskets, but they're usually just bigger clams anyway. This is poor, real poor.
For all the work, yeah.
Yeah, well, can't really work yet. There was something stuck on the tooth of the rake holding the rake about.
Oh.
With all the regulations with the fish sizes and the price of fuel anymore, you don't see, I mean, 20 years ago you would have seen 20 boats going out, 30 boats, sports all over the place. And now, especially after the storm, a lot of people don't even have sports boats left, you know.
If this is so hard, why do you do it?
Love the water.
Yeah, but
once you're on the water, you can't really get away from it. It gets in your blood. You know, if you got up in the morning and didn't have a boat to go down to, you wouldn't know what to do. You know, the government stepped in and they don't let you just go do anything you want. You have to have a license, and most licenses are what they call limited access. So if I wanted to go, say, drag a net for fluke, you know, be a dragger, I would have to basically buy somebody else out, buy their permits and all that. You see, so the government made everything more difficult. See, the faster you go, the more tink, 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 tink you'll feel. That's the clams today. I hear some clams, but not many. 4.5, 30. From the tide line on the beach to some guys do work in the Raritan Bay in 30 foot of water, and I'm sure there's clams deeper than that. You know, so I mean, they don't really stick to one certain depth. There's no real secret depth or anything. You can find them pretty much any place. I don't know. The guys call them blood clams. See the white part?
Yeah.
Out here, that's this year's growth. That's 1 year's growth. Some people say that we think we're really taking a little too many, but the growth rate in Sandy Hook and the Raritan Bay is unequaled in the world, and the New Jersey DEP, they know that. And they come out and they tow a dredge in the exact same spot for the exact same amount of time. And then they reel it up and count the clams. And they go to maybe 10 different spots in Sandy Hook and Raritan Bay. And then they take the count that they got that day, compare it to the count they got a year or two ago, and they see that the amount of clams they caught is still the same. So according to them, we're not overfishing the bay. this, see, if the tide starts coming in with just this little bit of breeze, we will move a little bit. You know, like I said, right now the tide is holding us back. If you've never done it before, it's going to really hurt, and I do believe you give up because it is hard work. There's no doubt about it. It's worse than digging ditches with a shovel, and they don't even do that anymore. They use a backhoe. But we still have to work with the old rake. We can't use anything modern. And to talk you into clamming, I wouldn't try to talk anybody into it because it's just a laborious, ungodly job, and you don't have any like steady income. Your pay varies week to week. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be mediocre. In the winter, we get a lot of time off where there's no pay. So any money that you do make in the summer, you got to try to hold a little bit to get you through the winter. So working on the water, it's just like any other job on the water. Some fisheries are good in the winter, and then the guys have nothing to do in the summer, and vice versa. You know, we do better in the summer because the clams are easier to market, and we catch the smaller ones. In the winter, we catch mostly big clams. So our paychecks go down severely. That's all there is to it.
Okay. We'll head back to the yard. You guys have food trains today?
I'll do a fishing rod then. Alright, so you can see something. There we are. These are conchs. They eat these. They got pots out here to catch these. It's another kind of snail. Conchs. We're sitting here waiting for a drift to come so we can catch some clams. That's a big clam. You can tell he's got stuff going on. Little neck, top neck, cherry stone, and the next one up would be a chowder.
Series is now 11 o'clock. We're limited to 240 baskets have to be divided up among so many diggers. So if they leave the dock with 7, if some people don't fill all theirs, they go back in empty, we can put them back out in the water, the baskets, because they weren't filled. And they start what they call rotation by alphabetical order. And wherever they left off the day before, they start the next day. And a guy might get 8 or he might get 9. This time of year, to get more than your 7, because everybody likes to work in the summer, of course, because it's so nice, you're basically stuck with your 6 or 7 for the day. In the summer, because we catch a lot more of the small ones, there's a lot more small ones in a basket than there is big ones, of course. In the summer, we'll process, we've processed up to 175,000. Recent numbers I've seen 118,000 and 134,000, because there's some people that still catch a lot of the big ones. It's their choice to do so. And so, of course, their count of clams amount in the basket is a lot less than a guy that's keeping the smaller clams. The smaller clams, you get 500 clams in a basket, where a bigger clam, you get 200 to 240 in a basket.
Okay, I'm Kevin Kirk. I run the J2A clam plant. I've been doing that for the last 11 years. The plant was built in the early 80s. Jimmy White and a few of his other guys, Dickie and a few of the older guys, put some money together. They got the lease to run the plant. Basically put everybody back to work. For 20 years, a lot of guys weren't working, and it was basically set up so they would go back to work. Shellfish are basically generally consumed raw. If everything was cooked, you wouldn't have a problem. But since it is a raw product, it has to be depurated from here. We break them in, the orange baskets are full U.S. bushel basket. We break them into the dish trays or racks. They're a half bushel. We have to wash them, clean them. We put them into a 30 bushel insert. That goes into the water for 48 hours. We pump fresh seawater over the top of it. It's a closed system, which basically means that we're taking water from the river into our reservoir tanks, and we recirculate it through UV lights. UV lights kill all the bacteria in the water on the first pass through. The clams just sit there purging what they do naturally. They filter the processed water, and they purge out whatever in their guts. The second time through, it kills all the bacteria that they had through them. The process is actually done in 24 hours, but for safety standards, they have us running in 48. And right now, our regulations are stiffer than the federals, the state of New Jersey, that is. Certified is our sales arm. The Baby Protect Association basically formed that company to sell our product. For some reason, the state will not let me move product. A lot of our stuff will go to Virginia, Boston. A lot of it goes still to Philadelphia and New York markets. I'm amazed at how many people walk down here and have no clue we're here. I mean, this is people who've been in town for a decade or two, have no clue we have a clam plant. They have no idea that Highlands was built on clams.
Finally, I'm very excited about a new television program which airs on Comcast, and I'm the host. It's a 26-episode series about the Jersey Bayshore, and it explores the towns, the history, and the things to do every single week. We've already produced 6 episodes, and more are in production already. Here's one of them. It's about Atlantic Highlands. Hello, I'm John Schneider. As a kid, I'd come to the New Jersey Bayshore to visit my Grandma Vi and take home movies of what I saw. Today, I live here, produce video documentaries, and recently shot this boat at night with my video camera. Where is the Jersey Bayshore? Well, let's start with the big picture. It's somewhere in here, part of the universe, and it's definitely part of our world. But it's like no place I've ever experienced. And as soon as we land, I'll show you around. Welcome to Jersey Bayshore country. What can you do here? Just take a look. Today we're visiting Atlantic Highlands, where there's also lots of things to see and do. Getting to Atlantic Highlands couldn't be easier. Just get on the Garden State Parkway, get off at exit 117, follow Route 36 towards Sandy Hook, look for this sign on your left, and you've arrived. Welcome to Atlantic Highlands, where the sun is just rising. In fact, we like to say the sun always rises and sets on the water here at the Jersey Bayshore. And what better place to start our quick tour than at the Atlantic Highlands Marina? There's New York City across the way, and a lot of folks commute there every single day. And these are the hills they're leaving behind as they go. There are some terrific views from one of these homes, and we'll visit one of them later in the program. Here's a view looking north along the shoreline of the bay. The hills and the waterfront are two of the town's most important assets. Some folks like to get an early morning start by running down one of the town's many pathways and trails. We'll look at some of those later. From tree-shaded neighborhoods to the shops and restaurants downtown, Atlantic Highlands just feels like a classic American small town. The town's modern marina, with its great dock facilities, is one of the largest in the entire Bayshore area. The town hall captures a classic architectural style. Hungry? Well, just save your appetite for a variety of cuisines, including some great waterfront dining. Different nationalities, different tastes, even different people. It's all here and it's all delicious. As you walk down the sidewalks, you might think this could be a town where everybody knows your name. And you'd be right. It's a great place to stroll down the avenue and find something interesting in the shops to take home. There's also an art gallery in town showing the works of artists who live in the Bayshore area. We'll talk to a few of those artists who live here a little bit later in the program. In the meantime, let's peek into some of the shops in town and see what they have for us. Here's a view of the waterfront from downtown, and here are even more shops. This is a town in which you could easily spend a day exploring and finding some of the hidden alleyways. There's a little bit of everything here for everyone of every age, from gift shops to jewelers to eyeglass repair to a movie theater to fitness to marine supplies to, well, let's just say Atlantic Highlands has more shops and restaurants on one street than a number of towns in this area. Here's the gazebo by the Atlantic Highlands Marina. Later on, we'll listen to one of the rock bands. Love fresh vegetables? Then you've got to stroll through the farmer's market. I bought one of these for myself. It was delicious. So now that I have nourishment, let's jump in the car and visit Mount Mitchell, a Monmouth County park right next to Atlantic Highlands. There's also a beach below Mount Mitchell for swimming or beachcombing. On top of Mount Mitchell, there's a stunning view from the highest point on the eastern seaboard. Remember that beach I just showed you below Mount Mitchell? Well, here's somebody with a metal detector. Here is that spectacular view of New York City. And here's a monument to 9/11. Now, near Mount Mitchell is the Lenape Trail. And here's an old stone bridge in one of the neighborhoods, which was built more than 120 years ago. And here's Henry Hudson Spring, discovered by guess who? We'll go inside this house as well. Some say it's haunted. Even if it is, I'd live in it just for the views of the Raritan Bay. The Atlantic Highlands Marina has lots of charter boats to take you sightseeing or fishing. And look, that's me and my friend on the boat we're going to go out on later in the show. And these hills, they're filled with a rich history. We'll talk about that later. And if you enjoy historic architecture, you'll find a few interesting examples right here. But when all is said and done, what makes living here so special is being by the water and the opportunity to catch fish in the Raritan Bay. And there are lots of them. You can also fish in Sandy Hook Bay, the Shrewsbury and Navesink Rivers, or the Atlantic Ocean. Say you need a place to stay for the night or weekend or longer? Well, we've got B&Bs scattered throughout the Jersey Bayshore, as well as hotels and motels. And if you live here, well, you're all set. Well, the commuters should be returning from the Big Apple shortly. Ah, there they are. Here they come. And just in time for one of the area's beautiful sunsets. Don't forget to bring your camera. And when the night arrives, there's still plenty to do. and we'll try to do some of it during this program. You know, it's not easy putting together a show like this. I just stepped out from behind the camera to say hi. I'm John Schneider. I'm your host for Jersey Bayshore Country. And what a treat it is for me to host today's episode. It's all about Atlantic Highlands, one of my favorite towns. It's just a stone's throw away from where I live. I love going there, the restaurants, the marina, the music, the art, the people. What's not to like? And I'm sure you're going to like it after this episode. You know, one of the things that I said in the video that you watched just a few moments ago is that this area has such a rich history. And Atlantic Highlands is no exception. There's living history everywhere you go. And here's my case in point. Let's start with one of the oldest sites in the area, the Henry Hudson Springs, which is cared for by the Historical Society of Atlantic Highlands. The spring is located in the hills right next to some of the homes which overlook Raritan Bay. And so it was, about 400 years ago, the explorer, Henry Hudson, moored his ship in the bay and sent some of his crew into the hills to search for fresh water. They found a spring right here, and today it still flows. Here's a home movie of my family visiting the spring more than 50 years ago. There's my dad. And look, that's me. By the way, back in those days, people would drink directly from the spring, as we're doing, or they'd fill their water bottles to take home. And today, folks are somewhat more cautious about drinking water from the spring. It's also a little more difficult to even see the spring today, but it's still worth a visit. These are the steps leading from the road to the spring, and here's the spring water running into Sandy Hook and Raritan Bays. Henry Hudson's ship, the Half Moon, was right out there. Can you see it? The water from the spring passes directly under the Henry Hudson Trail, which used to carry passenger trains along the shoreline. Today, it's a walking and biking path. It's an incredibly scenic path running from the borough of Highlands to Atlantic Highlands and beyond. In fact, it goes through all of the towns at the Jersey Bayshore. Here are some photographs I recently took of the Henry Hudson Trail. If you bring or rent bicycles, you can easily take the trail to Sandy Hook and ride that trail as well. Oh, and by the way, feel free to walk or ride slowly. It's hard to go too fast when you have to stop all the time to take a photograph. Spending an entire day biking on the Henry Hudson Trail should definitely be part of your agenda when you come to Atlantic Highlands. At some point along the Henry Hudson Trail, you can almost look up and see Mount Mitchell, which is a park of the Monmouth County Park System. You're probably getting tired of hearing about all the wonderful views in this area, but here's yet another one. Look, here it is, New York City, and you can see Long Island just as well. Incidentally, my father asked my mother to marry him on top of Mount Mitchell, and she did say yes. But while the view is certainly incredible, you should spend some time looking at the monument to the folks who not only lost their own lives or family members and friends who lost theirs, but to those in this area, many who had boats, who helped rescue survivors in New York City during 9/11. The monument is an eagle clutching a piece of steel from the World Trade Center. Now let's visit an historic home open to the public. It's the Strauss Mansion, a 21-room house built in 1893. It was built by Adolph Strauss as a summer cottage for his family. Mr. Strauss was a wealthy New York importer and a merchant with offices on Broadway. The house was designed in Queen Anne style and sits on top of one of the highest elevations in town. There are 69 doors and 70 windows, or so I'm told. I'm also told that the design and the size of the house matches the lifestyle of the Strauss family, which consisted of 9 people. The house is large, lavish, and ready for entertaining guests. Today, the Historical Society of Atlantic Highlands owns the Strauss Mansion and conducts public tours of the home quite regularly. So when you come to Atlantic Highlands, make sure you visit this wonderful piece of local history. Let's look around the house a little more before we go. And remember, some folks believe it is definitely haunted. Let's see if we can find any clues. Well, it certainly looks haunted to me, but what do I know? For more information about the Strauss Mansion, Museum, and Library, or to learn more about the history of Atlantic Highlands, visit www.atlantichighlandshistory.org. We're having a great time. This is my good friend, neighbor, fellow musician, fellow teacher, Carl Gentry. Lives right across the street. Good to have you here, Carl.
John.
Now, in the summertime in the Jersey Bayshore, I never see, you're always going out, you're always leaving, packing up your car and your van with all your musical equipment. You're out playing. I think there's a tremendous amount of terrific music. You must get a kick out of playing outside and with the people enjoying the sun and the drinks and the food.
It's a blast. It's so nice. Just a great experience when the weather's good.
Now I'm towing my car. There's a hole in the roof. My possessions are cold. There's a station, but there's no proof. In the paper today, tales of war and of wage, but you never see the end of it till you pay. Hey now, don't keep it so now. Hey now, when the world comes in, there comes to treat us.
There's a lot of opportunities for people to hear live music in this area, isn't there?
There are so many opportunities. I mean, just we were talking before, and I played so many places over the years. I've been playing the area for over 20 years. Going up to Atlantic Highlands, you have the Shore Casino, played there many times for private events. There was a place called the Castaways that's no longer there anymore. The Harbor Side, I played there in Atlantic Highlands.
Thank you very much.
Well, as long as we're here at the marina, let's have a quick snack at one of the restaurants overlooking the water, and then we'll shove off on another adventure. We're boarding one of the last wooden boats you'll see on Raritan Bay. It's called the Mariner. It's a beautifully designed boat from days past, and it's seaworthy, so let's go with my friend, Captain Dan Shade, who knows these waters pretty well. We're just about ready to leave. You know, even while we're maneuvering out of the marina, there's still lots to see. We're headed toward the Shrewsbury River in Highlands, New Jersey, just minutes from Atlantic Highlands. Here we are now leaving the marina and looking at the homes in the hills as we go. That big building up there, that's East Point. Frank Sinatra had a place up there. Eventually, we'll position the boat for a view of the sunset, but not quite yet. On a windy day, these sailboats seem to be out in the bay within minutes of the first breeze. Oh, it's a beautiful sight. And look, there's the bridge which crosses the Shrewsbury River to the Atlantic Ocean. And there's the historic Twin Lights lighthouses, built in 1862. The Northern Monmouth County Chamber of Commerce is on the boat with us today. Oh, lots of birds in this area, more than 300 species of migratory birds, in fact. And look what's coming, just like clockwork. It's the ferry service from New York City to Atlantic Highlands, and Sandy Hook. It's always fun to wave at the passengers on passing boats. I do it all the time. Mount Mitchell is over there to the right of East Point, and pretty soon the sun will be setting. Ah, there it is, beginning its descent. Captain Dan is starting to position his boat for the best view. Nice, very nice. By the way, that's a 2.5-mile-long pier out there used by the military to resupply ships. And now it's back to port, to the Atlantic Highlands Marina. Look, there's the place with the view we visited briefly before the boat ride. And here's a boat ready to pick up where we left off, maybe some night fishing. But for us, we're going to an art gallery in town where there's a display case in the gallery with artwork and artifacts from the Jersey Bayshore. We'll also meet 3 local artists and look at some of their work as well. Here's one of them.
My name's Mike Scherfen. I live in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, about 4 blocks from the Dillon Gallery, where I am at now. I'm a 27-year veteran art director out of New York City advertising, and I retired about 10 years ago and started painting. And I hadn't painted for many, many years, not since art school, and I now paint in watercolor, and I specialize in portraiture, and I specialize in landscapes. And I do a lot of portrait work of working people, master shipwrights, boat builders. I paint every day, 7 days a week. What I like about the area initially was that it was close to New York City, where I worked for 27 years. Atlantic Highlands to me is like a mini San Francisco because it's got the flat areas, it's got the water, and it's got the hills.
You know, both art and music is a big part of the scene, as they say, here at the Jersey Bayshore, and both art and music are represented in almost every style. Here's another artist who explains why he loves it here so much.
Hello, my name is Zeke Peabody. I live in Atlantic Highlands. I'm a painter. My studio is right around the corner. If you look at my large piece that's on the wall, the name of the painting is what Atlantic Highlands has traditionally been called. It's called The Jewel of the Bayshore, is the name of my painting. And what I do is I make figurative paintings. They have a mystical overtone. I like to be inspired by the light. That's why I like living here. There's a certain luminosity that happens that I try to capture in these pieces that are on the wall. I like the light. I like the way the light bounces around. I like the way there's so many different kinds of light and water. Bay, river, ocean. I'd almost say it's as close to what I've seen in Paris.
Now, a few of the artists being shown here tonight are still in high school, and they're very talented. Here's one of them.
Hi, I'm Will Leahy, an artist of Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey, and I started drawing art about 2006. Well, I always watched my father growing up. He graduated from Pratt in 1984, and then just kind of started doing my own thing. I was always into the Yankees. I drew a lot of sports things, a lot of music things, which my father also did. And well, the first piece is Gene Simmons from Kiss, which goes back to like the music influence, but he's the Statue of Liberty, and it's falling into the water with the New York skyline and whatnot. And a lot of places in New Jersey, if you look out, you could see the New York skyline and kind of relate to that. And then the other one's a map, which just shows like different counties in New Jersey and like what they represent.
So whether it's music or art or history or recreation, the Jersey Bayshore and Atlantic Highlands has a lot to offer almost everyone. Finally, I'd like to share with you something I call In the Neighborhood. It's usually some place next to or close to the town I'm profiling. But there's a twist. I don't narrate, and you'll hear the sound of the video as I shot it, along with some music that I've selected to go with it. We're going to Sandy Hook, which can be clearly seen from Atlantic Highlands. We're going to take my small boat and explore some of the ruins and relics. Some of these relics are left over from when Sandy Hook was home to Fort Hancock, which was a large military installation. It's a great place to find sea glass and old bottles as well. So here we go to a place on Sandy Hook where not many people have been, but I'm taking you. Well, I don't know where the time goes. Maybe it's slipping into the future, as Steve Miller once said. But I was so pleased to be part of the show, and I hope you'll stay tuned, because next week we're going to have a whole new episode about a whole new town in the Jersey Bayshore, and I want you to join me. Now remember, I'm not the only one with a video camera. I happen to know that you probably have one too. Maybe it's a phone camera, maybe it's just a camera, maybe it's a video camera. Either way, you have to contact me at john-schneider@comcast.net. Let me know what you got. I'd love to take a look at it. Give me some ideas. Give me some suggestions. It's always a lot of fun to hear from folks, and I want to hear from you. Well, as we conclude the show, you know, I don't usually do many things here in the studio except interview people. And, you know, we had that interview with Carl Gentry, the musician who played down at the Gazebo in Atlantic Highlands. Well, when we started that interview, I thought we'd never get through it because we kept laughing. And here are some of the outtakes. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, here we are. I don't know if I'm going to get through this show, but I'm going to try. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Now, I'm so pleased to have with me tonight, or today, or this afternoon, or this morning, my good friend, neighbor, fellow teacher, and fellow musician, Carl Gentry.
Why do you laugh when you say my name, Jim?
I don't know, because maybe of something that happened before we went on the air. You know, we're live now. The floor manager just told me we're live. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm John Schneider, and welcome to Video Guide to the Jersey Bayshore with me tonight. These will be in the bloopers. You know I'm going to do bloopers. I got to do bloopers.
This is great.
I got to do bloopers. Well, that's about it. I want to once again appeal to you for a financial commitment of any amount, and remember that there's no outlay of money until the grant is approved. But even more importantly, I hope you're excited about the plan to promote the Jersey Bayshore, and that you're pleased with the progress so far. If you want to see the detailed plan and the strategies and the objectives, do contact me and I'm happy to send it to you. And remember, this is not some crazy scheme. It's a grassroots effort to make something significant and positive happen to our local economy. Will you please help me? I would appreciate it. I really would. Thank you.